Hi, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Nisita from Synix Group, and today we have with us Mr. Balaji Srinivasan, the Executive Director and Chief Technology Officer of Dreamfolks. So, we welcome you, sir, in India CX Summit and Awards, and we are glad to have you as one of our eminent speaker for the event. So, I would like to ask you a few questions. So, my first question would be, how can consumer experience engage the customer of today?
So, consumer experience is about solving consumer problems and having a journey that is actually easy for consumers to experience, literally. So, we are in the business of providing access to airport services such as lounges, and we work with banks that gives access to, let's say, a bank consumer going into a lounge. And the underlying tech is actually enabled by us. So for us, there are different elements of consumer experience, not just digital, but also in the physical realm. So for example, what we do is that we have set up something called a kiosk at the different airports where a customer can go, and they can tap a card, and the card then prints out a chart slip which contains a QR code. The beauty of this solution is that the customer need not actually go and wait at the lounge. This charge slip can then be directly shown at the counter, and then you can go inside. So this is fundamentally transforming the experience of the consumer at when the customer is already at the airport. Now let's take a scenario where the customer had not yet reached the airport. So even when the customer has not reached the airport, there is a solution that we have that is called web access, where the customer can do a pre-check-in. Very similar to a pre-check-in that you do for flights. You can do a pre-check-in for lounges. You can generate a QR code on your mobile, and then again you can bypass all the lines and you can directly go into the lounge. So these are new type of experiences that the customer is getting. Having said that, the digital experience is also very, very important. So what we do is that we work with all the banks, and we are giving them the technology to embed these kind of digital solutions into the own banking app. So to summarize, consumer experience has to be thought of in the context of the domain and in context of the problem statement. We are a B2B business, and sometimes we are unable to directly impact the experience of the end consumer. So what we do is that we enable our clients, such as the banks and the networks, to go and give a better experience for their consumers. So that's our view on consumer experience.
Thank you for those good words, sir. And my second question to you would be, in your view, what would be the role of personalization in customer experience?
I think personalization is a new trend. I think in the forums today, we heard quite a few of the speakers talking about personalization. And again, I would contextualize personalization to us. So as a B2B player, there are two levels of personalization. The first level for us is my immediate client, which is, let's say, a bank or a network, and we are able to personalize a solution set for those clients. So that is a personalization, but maybe not the traditional definition of personalization. So coming to the more traditional definition, what we also do is we enable our clients, such as banks, to give specific offerings to their consumers. Now, personalization is not about just giving an offer or changing a theme. We are giving the option for banks to change the product itself. So if you think about a credit card, it is something that is created once and then it is sold, and then the consumer experience typically focuses on solving the experience of support or the experience of an interaction or the experience of transactions, but the product itself is actually static and it is fixed ahead of time. So now what we are able to do is give the option to the consumer to change the product itself. So you can get a card and you can actually select which features go into which card and create a dynamic card for yourself. So the level of personalization is very, very important. And my belief is that if a card has been created or somebody has taken the effort to personalize a card, then the loyalty factor, the engagement factor, and the propensity to use that card is much, much more higher as opposed to then having a generic card in your wallet. So that's the way we are driving the industry.
Thank you so much for your suggestions and for your words. And it is very honorable for us to have you as a speaker. And thank you for your valuable time. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.